100 to 400 ELO. If you are in this ELO range, well, you got a long way to go to get better. At this level, you are probably making blunders left and right. Your opponent is probably trying some goofy Scholar's Mate or fried liver attack. At this level, good moves don't really matter. The thing that matters is blundering less than your opponent and learning basic checkmates. You should learn the king and rook checkmate since it's quite common. So whenever you have a king and rook, first cut the king off and then bring your own king. And if they attack your rook, make sure to not go back. Instead, just slide over, then get opposition with the king, and then check them to force them back and cut them off again. Repeat this till checkmate. You also want to reduce your blunders, so every time you move, just is anything hanging in my position? 400 to 800 ELO. Congratulations! You have just graduated from the shitty games of the 100 ELO realm, but you still continue to make stupid mistakes frequently. You are around most players on chess.com's rating, so you're quite average. So if you're here, you need to focus on these things. First, like last time, try to focus on reducing the frequency of your blunders rather than trying to find the best move. And the other is to do some puzzles to find opponent mistakes. If you do these two things, I can guarantee you will break through 800 ELO. 800 to 1200. Now you're better than most chess players, so competition pretty intense now. So your opponent probably makes around 2 to 4 blunders per game, most going unnoticed, and you probably play a few openings now. Your opponents have probably stopped doing this fucking shit. So now the question is, how do you break through 1200 ELO? Well, it's actually simple, but not that easy. First step, you need to have a solid opening repertoire that you need decently well about. The second step is to follow a thinking process called CCA, which means checks, captures, attacks. You look for the most forcing moves since it's easier to find tactics that way. And speaking of tactics, you want around 10 to 20 puzzles a day to actually spot them. 1200 to 1600. Okay, now you're in the intermediate zone. And you are in the top 20% of chess players, so congrats. Now, your games are more sophisticated with you still blundering a lot of the time, but not as much. You probably play main lines until like move 4 and then they play a stupid f***ing move. Now, you need to improve a few things to get better. First is your positional understanding of the game. You should continue the CCA and reduce your blunders. Tactics are still very important, but it's crucial to understand the positional play. So basically, you need to know how to position your knights and bishops, or the fact you probably shouldn't give up the bishop pair for a shitty knight. You should also continue to do puzzles and analyze your games to see what your weaknesses are and try to learn how to fix them. 1600 to 2000. You are now in the big leagues, lil bro. You are around the top 1% of chess players, so you're pretty good at the game now. But the problem is the competition of this level is so darn high. You can't simply blunder in a game since usually you will get f***ed after that since your opponent will see it. So how do we get better in this zone? Well, it's not simple, nor is it easy, but I'll try to do it and we will see how it goes. But while you're here, please like and subscribe, since only 5% of you are, so it would really help me out a ton. Okay, back to the video. So the first thing is, obviously your tactics. Now I would do the woodpecker method to improve at it. Wait a minute, what the f*** is that? Well, it's a method where you solve a batch of puzzles in cycles where each time you take less and less time on them. Do that, go on chesspecker.com and put in your details and the amount of cycles you want to do. After that, you simply lock in and complete them. The second is your middle game play. Try to not be passive the whole game, and instead try to go forward with your pieces and try to activate them as much as possible, and follow the middle game plan of the openings that you play. Speaking of openings, you need to probably have a deep understanding of the middle game plans associated with the opening, and memorize key lines. You also need decent endgame play to not blunder the most simple shit. So I recommend watching this Daniel Naroditsky series about endgames. And after that, you can probably find somewhere else to learn more. 2000 to 2200. Okay, you're in the upper end of the casual players and the lowest end of the titled players. You are around the top 0.3% of chess players. At this point, I don't know how to give tips since, well, you're kind of better than me. So I guess I'll try making some tips, but they will probably horrendously So if you are at this level, you probably make stupid mistakes every year. You probably still make positional inaccuracies, but these are mostly negligible, but sometimes you do make a big positional error that allows the opponent to capitalize on it. So here you mostly got to work on your positional stuff, not making errors on that, and continue the endgame grind since most of your games are going to the very end. 2400 to 2600. This is the range of international masters and grandmasters. You are around the top 0.1% of chess players. You are in the biggest of biggest leagues and can beat a chess player blindfolded. You also probably know life grinded to this level, and if someone plays this in the opening, you can immediately punish it and destroy them. 2600 to 2800. You are now the rating from Grandmaster to Super Grandmaster. If you are here, then you probably are quite famous, and not just a lone chess player playing at 3 a.m. Now, you don't have a job or work, and instead just grind at it for chess, since that is kind of your job. You sometimes lose stupidly because you're drunk and become insane when you start losing, or just flat out super f***ing angry. You probably still go on losing streaks.
I've lost 6 games in a row now.
So, yeah, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up and a subscribe since only 5% of you are actually subscribed, and check this video on the left about every chess time control in 3 minutes.